During our exploration of the Delta Quadrant, we spent a long time involved in the struggles of Kabali Prime and managed to resolve an issue with their use of the Vaadwaur pods to create more Kabali. While the conflict does continue, the major threats are under control and Captain Harry Kim will be remaining planetside to keep tabs on the situation. When we're done fighting in the outskirts of the city, a location we can now return to from now on to take part in open missions and such, Commander Ethan Burgess contacts us with a new mission that will take us away from the front lines and back into space.
The Alliance needs your help. A group of Alliance ships are currently under attack by the Vaadwaur in the Lleiset system. The Lleiset is making its way there to render assistance. I want you to back them up. We don't know what the Vaadwaur have there, and I want to give us the best possible chance of victory.
Well, we've been here so long that the familiar pounding of the distant cannons is almost a comfort. But honestly, until the Vaadwaur are placated somehow, their pride will not allow them to let up. Well, all said and done, there's another ship out there that needs our help, so we'll beam up and set a course. We have to make quite the journey across the sectors to reach the Lleiset system, a trinary system in what appears to be a star cluster. Arriving at the location, Commander Jarok of the Lleiset is already in system and hails our arrival.
Glad to have you by our side. This is one of the systems marked for further examination during your work with Subcommander Seyhen. I'm not sure what the Vaadwaur are up to here, but they're fighting like demons. They're attacking a small group of Alliance vessels. More hostile ships are on the way. I propose we divide and conquer. The Lleiset will fly ahead and catch any incoming ships, while you free our trapped allies. Your thoughts?
Sounds like a solid plan. You keep reinforcements busy while we do the legwork, but there's only a couple of us, so this is not going to be easy. In the distance, we can see the Vaadwaur deploying their identifiable spatial charges against a Zillant battleship, which is a Gorn vessel. As the Delta Alliance is a cooperative of efforts between the Romulan Republic, the Federation and the Klingon Empire, this would naturally include the Gorn hegemony, a vassal state of the Klingons. While the Lleiset cloaks and heads off to lie in wait to ambush any reinforcements, we waste no time in picking off the Vaadwaur ships, focusing fire down on the smaller vessel and staying away from the barrage of charges deployed by the other ship. Separating the two and taking them down one at a time is preferable here. As harsh as it sounds, we can let one occupy itself with the Gorn. Besides, if we're quick about it, we can have dealt with one before the other even becomes a problem. We repair the vessels under siege by the Vaadwaur, and soon we've begun to build a small armada of Alliance vessels. We have a Gorn Zillant battleship, a Federation cruiser, and now we've just rescued a Nautican raider.
Engines back online. We're ready to fight.
A large Vaadwaur fleet just arrived. This is our chance to strike before they retreat.
Seeing these species cooperate in such a fashion would have been the stuff of idle dreams a year ago, but now? It's funny what the threat of imminent destruction can do. The fleet Jarok mentioned is easily detectable on long-range scans. It appears to be made of around 10 vessels, assault ships in the fore, scouts at the flanks, and a heavy artillery vessel at the rear. The rest of our rescue operation turned strike force can engage the assault ships long enough for us to take out their big hitters. Or at least that's the plan. We watch as the Vanguard peels off to intercept the Lleiset and our forces as we close in on our target. But you know what they say about plans in contact with the enemy, and soon a tractor beam anchor halts our flanking attack, and it's the Nautican raider that has to free us. The main fleet has easily dispatched the smaller Vaadwaur assault ships, and the heavy artillery that had been our initial target is soon the only remaining enemy ship. However, we have kept its attention focused on us, so I'm attributing the success of the attack wing to my heroic distraction.
Captain Jarok, come in!
During its death throes, the heavy artillery struck the Lleiset. It's venting plasma, clearly something critical was struck, and its shields are inoperable. We move to assist the crippled Republic flagship.
Greetings. I am Lieutenant Gaius Silan, Chief Intelligence Officer for the Lleiset. I regret to inform you that the Vaadwaur now control the ship. The bridge is lost, and we are locked out of most internal sensors. However, I managed to access a secure comm channel before the security codes were changed, and have located a safe location for transport. I have sent the coordinates to your ship. Without your assistance, the Lleiset and her crew will be lost.
We prep our away team and beam over to the coordinates provided by Celan, an officer we haven't seen since we investigated the Hoba supernova a year ago. Okay, Lieutenant, I get we're in different militaries, but a report.
The ship is swarming with Vaadwaur soldiers. Our security forces are attempting to engage them, but as of yet, we have not made significant gains. I am unable to contact other members of the senior staff, but I believe they are still alive. Very coincidental, really. Our current situation is remarkably similar to my invasion scenario 4591. When you are ready, we can go over our plan of attack.
4,591. Well, I think if you write enough scenarios, you're going to hit the nail on the head eventually.
Scenarios, plural. I have gone through several hundred holodeck simulations of various factions attempting to board the Lleiset. As the designated intelligence officer, it is important I know what to do in every scenario. The Vaadwaur simulation is incomplete, but they are acting in accordance to several other scenarios. If you are wondering, I do have a scenario that deals with your crew boarding us. I would enjoy talking to you sometime about how to improve your vulnerabilities.
I will take you up on that, but first off, why are we in Commander Jarek's quarters, and why does my character recognise that?
The Vaadwaur are jamming transporters and communications. My holodeck simulations determined the commander's quarters is one of the places where interference would be the weakest, allowing me to bring in outside help. The other areas, if you are curious, are the secondary control room, storage room 10 beneath engineering, and, well, I shall leave the final one a surprise.
Alright, Celan, I'm guessing someone as thorough as you has formulated a plan, so what's next? Also, if your arm's tired, you can drop the salute.
We need to retake several key areas of the ship. The security team here will capture the bridge. Meanwhile, your team should storm the med bay, which we are very close to. Dr. Cryptic should be there. After that, we must retake the armory to prevent the Vaadwaur from resupplying. In the majority of my scenarios, Lieutenant Tyrell is there making a stand against the invaders.
Securing supplies for a proper counterattack, right.
From there, we need to see whether the Vaadwaur perform like scenario 4591 or scenario 3291. Though perhaps they may surprise us and be more like 6895. My apologies. We do not have time for my idle speculation. Any questions?
Where are you going to be during all of this?
I will remain here until we have recovered the majority of this deck. If your crew should be killed in action, I will need to remain free and contact another ship for aid. It's not my place to get my hands dirty in this, especially not after the incident in scenario 2792.
Well, it's not cowardice to admit his own strengths and weaknesses, and his practicality in the face of our imminent peril is understandable. Alright, Celan, the medbay it is. We can hear fighting in the corridors along the way, and we can see the toll taken on the Lleiset during the battle. Collapsed bulkheads and unchecked fires hint at the failure of emergency containment, and we can stop to assist wounded crew members as we find them, but some are beyond our help. On the way to the medbay, we pass through a rec lounge to overhear a brave civilian.
You must stop this meaningless massacre! Consider the balance!
He is one Deferi scientist named Norel.
Kill this fool. I'm tired of listening to him blather.
Well, his blathering held your attention long enough for us to get the drop on the Vaadwaur, so without too much effort we put them down. I have spent the last month fighting them on Kabali Prime, so it's become something of a pastime by now.
You have my thanks. Such reckless slaughter.
Oh, come on, I wasn't that bad. Oh, you mean them? Yes, them. Reckless slaughter indeed. Norel holds true to a sense of pacifism and universal balance.
Thank you for the rescue. The Vaadwaur have no respect for anything other than their own selfish goals. I'm sorry, but I cannot help you any further. I am just a civilian scientist, not a trained killer, a trained soldier like you. I'll wait here until everything has settled down, unless you believe there is something I can do.
Well, you don't want to fight and that's okay, so instead we're moving to secure the sickbay. Bring wounded you find to it when you hear that it's clear.
Yes, that is more than acceptable. I will not fight, but I can help restore the balance by helping others. I will attempt to stabilize anyone who needs help here, and then await word from you or the doctor that the medbay is safe.
Good chap. Alright team, we've got to press on. Pushing through the corridors is quite a winding path, with sealed doors and barricaded corridors funneling us in twisting directions, and we run across several more boarding parties intent on slaughtering the crew as they find them. What's their goal? Hold out until Vaadwaur reinforcements arrive? Even if they manage to take control of the Lleiset and repair all of the damage, they're surrounded by 3 more Delta Alliance vessels.
Do your worst. You're amateurs compared to the tall Shi'ar.
Ah, the good doctor, I presume.
I will not sit by and let you take this ship. Thank you. Let's get to work.
Last time we were in a Romulan medbay, it looked a little more Borgified. This one at least looks a little less hostile, though please lower the disruptor. Dr. Cryptic?
Glad to see you, but if you came here instead of the bridge, it means you're following a plan made by Gaius and his scenarios. The equipment here is still operational. I'll begin treating the wounded. There's a console nearby you can use to contact the security team heading to the bridge.
What's wrong with Solan's scenarios? They seemed pretty solid to me. He's done a lot of them, sure.
I've watched enough of Gaius and his scenarios to know that he would never count on a single team's success. He'd send someone else to the bridge. And I also know he's made a few modifications to almost every console on the ship, including that one. Nothing happens in my medbay without my knowledge.
So this is a secure interface, right?
Good timing. We're about to storm the bridge. We'll keep the channel open during the assault. I'll contact you again after we have control.
What makes you think you will succeed where others have failed? You should have taken Gaul's offer.
I imagine we both overheard the same thing. Very curious. I've run simulations where the security team failed, but none like this. We should continue with the plan. We have this area secure, and you are the only mobile unit still available. If you can recover Zhu and her team in the armory, we will have another opportunity to retake the ship.
Right, armory next to meet with Terrell. Understood. And that Vaadwaur just tanked those hits. What kind of tech was he using? A new shield mod? I've not seen one like that before. The scientist from before is as good as his word, and he brings in the wounded from the mess to receive attention. We've made good progress, but that one Vaadwaur is a concern, an unknown variable in Solan's plans. Taking the turbolift to a new deck, we see that there is skirmishing across this level too, so we take the corner and are confronted by a fairly robust Vaadwaur officer who falls fairly easily. Well, if that one on the bridge did have tech upgrades, clearly not all officers have them. So could it be genetic? Sounds of fighting in the armory reach us as we arrive to assist.
Thanks for the help, I guess. We should talk strategy.
I really hope these are not armed. That is a lot of plasma torpedoes, and I'm pretty sure I was just taking cover behind one. We find Juterol at the rear of the bay, and she's a chipper lass.
Bah! Vaadwaur. I'll take down every last one of them, I swear it. Nobody makes me look like a fool. I guess I'll let you deal with a few. I can't be in two places at once. We have problems in the brig and in engineering.
Okay, so what happens now?
Cyanel and his team are pinned down in engineering, and Commander Jirok and Sub-Commander Merrill are in the brig. I'm going to head engineering. If the Vaadwaur get control of the Singularity, we're done. Think you could secure the brig?
Well, we've made it this far and faced a lot of Vaadwaur along the way, so how many more could there be? On our way to the turbolift to engineering, we fight some more patrols, rescue some wounded crew and send them back the way we came, and press on throughout the Lleiset to reach its captain. It's rather a long way to reach the brig. I guess you don't want to keep the prisoners too close to the weaponry, and we find the captured bridge crew.
Delay them. I need more time.
The Vaadwaur here have the advantage. We are in a choke point of the corridor, and they have room to spread out and fire on us from all angles. Yet they decide to rush in at us, so thanks, STO AI.
Disable the security grid, and we can get out of here.
The speaker was one Sub-Commander Merrill, the first officer, and he's a military survivor of the Hobus event. The Tal Shiar's machinations under Hakeev forced him to re-evaluate his position, and when the Republic formed, he lent it his expertise.
Thank you. What's the situation?
You have half a ship. Captain Jirok, all this just to get my attention.
You're a welcome sight. I was on the bridge. We were attacked by just one Vaadwaur, but he was different, stronger, unstoppable. He wiped out our security team, but he knocked Var and me out. Put us here for questioning. What's happening? Do we have control of the bridge?
No, we have the medbay and the armory, and Lieutenant Terrell is on her way to engineering, but the bridge is still contested.
Is Zyno there? If he and Zhu can hold engineering while we take the bridge, we can take control of the ship and then clean up the Vaadwaur from there. I'll still need some time to recover. You and Sub-Commander Merrill should head to the bridge. I'll stay here and monitor the situation. Be on your guard. The Vaadwaur that took that bridge shrugged off our attacks like they were nothing. He won't go down easily.
Are you sure it's wise to stay here on your own?
I've dealt with worse. I'm just not particularly mobile at the moment. I'd just slow you down. Secure the bridge, but watch out for that Vaadwaur. He's like a force of nature.
With that said, she mans the security desk to call in her status and get a handle on things, while Sub-Commander Morell joins our party, and if we linger long enough, we can see that Dr. Cryptic arrives to insist that Commander Jirok receives treatment. Being a stubborn captain, she refuses to go to medbay, but the doctor negotiates at least an assessment out of her in case she collapses or something. We turbolift to the bridge and prepare to fight this behemoth of a Vaadwaur. On the way, we pass a reactor based on Thaleron technology, a design that the Tolwar has inherited from the Riemann scimitar. However, no Thaleron runs through this vessel's veins. Distractions aside, we prep ourselves and enter the bridge.
He's gone. Strange.
Well, that enemy commander is nowhere to be seen. I'm slightly relieved, but also if he's not here, then where is he? He's not the sort of thing you want to leave unaccounted for. But this is all now left unguarded, so let's just retake control of the flagship. Sub-Commander, a hand if you would, my Rihanasu is a little rusty.
Excellent work. We have control of the ship's life support, navigation, and weapons systems again. According to the logs, the Vaadwaur leader was attempting to open fire on your ship. Doesn't look like he could get past Lieutenant Salon's security algorithm. I'll handle things up here, but could you use that console to contact Lieutenant Terrell? Tell her to scramble her security teams and find that Vaadwaur.
Agreed, we cannot let something of that power roam around unchecked, plus we need to examine him. Relaying our situation to engineering, we do not get a response.
If you want to live, you'll give me what I want.
I've survived worse than you.
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
Was this all a trick to lure us away from engineering? What are they trying to... No, he couldn't. I fear the worst. If the Vaadwaur is in engineering, he could turn off the shielding protecting the Singularity Core. Without containment, the Singularity will implode.
Alright, I'll take my team to address this. You stay here in case there are any more Vaadwaur. We can't afford to lose the bridge again. On the way to engineering, we run into Gaius.
This way. Narwhal and I have a plan.
Oh, of course you do. We follow him into the transporter room to see what he's got in mind.
Very predictable. If the Vaadwaur can't use the Lleiset to attack other ships, they will make a statement by destroying us with our own singularity. I've analyzed the data from other teams fighting the Vaadwaur. It's pointless for you to try to fight him. Your weapons are inadequate for the task. However, Narwhal has come up with an interesting theory that may work.
Oh? Go ahead.
The vents in the Singularity Core carry a modified version of plasma. I'm not cleared to give you all the details, but the Lleiset is testing several advances that have not been provided to other ships in the fleet at this time. Narwhal believes direct exposure to this modified plasma may create a vulnerability in the Vaadwaur. I believe this plan has a low chance of success, but it is the best option we have. If you can lure the Vaadwaur beneath the vents, Narwhal and I will overload them, causing the plasma to cover the Vaadwaur and weaken him. You'll have one more problem to deal with before that, however.
The psychopathic immortal Vaadwaur is not enough?
The Vaadwaur has erected a shield around the Singularity Core. Very smart, I must say. No one will be able to affect him when he is inside. You must trick him into dropping that shield. I suggest playing towards the Vaadwaur's pride. That is usually the surest way to convince someone to make a suboptimal move. Once that is done, lure the Vaadwaur beneath one of the vents. We'll activate the plasma, and then you can properly knock out our friend. Are you ready?
Look, I just have to ask. This is a common response to a lot of these types of situations with boarding parties, but why didn't you just beam him into space?
That was the first thing I tried when I arrived. There is something preventing us from locking transporters onto any of the Vaadwaur. Not uncommon, really. I have observed that many Starfleet officers also carry devices that prevent them from being randomly transported. If I find a way around the transporter block, I'll do as you ask.
I like this answer. It's like trying to address 50 plus years of plot armor. Okay, so the plan is lure out the big guy, bring him under a plasma vent, douse him, and then wail on him until he drops. Right, I think we can do that.
Your ship is doomed!
Oh, that would be the modified plasma shower. I don't want to step under those vents. I'm just going to work my way around them. On the way, we can revive Armory Officer Terrell, who immediately runs off, saying that she'll be back with a plan. Okay, just make it quick. By destabilising the containment, the gravitational effect of a micro black hole will kick in, and the entire vessel would be ripped apart to atomic shreds as it's devoured by its core.
You made it. A shame. We had hoped you would be neutralized by now. But you show an unusual resilience. Perhaps that's why Gaul made his generous offer. You're too late to stop what is happening. The Singularity Core's overload has already begun. You will all be destroyed by your greatest weapon. It's almost poetic, really.
Rallin is referring to Gaul's false attempts at negotiations to further justify his actions against us, as I knew he would. He wants to be seen as a savior. Where is your pride, Rallin?
My pride as a Vaadwaur. That's good. Very good. This is simply the most efficient way. I could kill you all one at a time, but I have better things to do.
You're an idiot. We've got the ability to just transport out of here, so you'll die. That's about it.
Interesting. But will you abandon the Lleiset, or will you stay until the last glorious second to try and save it? Regardless, I will admit you make a point. You've survived too many of your previous encounters for me to leave anything to chance. I will enjoy seeing the last bit of life leave your eyes.
Learn to live with disappointment. Oh yeah, I'm so cool. Oh, The battle begins immediately. We cannot do him any harm until we douse him in plasma, so the first thing to do is lure him under a vent as Salon wished. Relin can close the distance quickly and uses melee attacks.
He's vulnerable to the plasma. Focus your fire.
In an attempt to pummel us into submission, so it's pretty simple to get him where we want him. He can inflict a lot of damage with his attacks, so it's best to keep mobile to kite him, but that can be tricky when the uneven floor snags your footing. At one point I'm almost downed, but a fortunately timed hyperspray lets me survive his onslaught.
He's recovering. He's vulnerable to the plasma. Focus your fire.
Time to finish this.
It'll take more than that to kill me. I will not be stopped.
We need a better solution.
Well, he's standing over a singularity core. How about we just push him off with something powerful, like a grenade?
I've got just the thing.
Hail Mary!
What was that thing?
I don't know, but we need a better way to fight it.
I'll get to work.
Yeah. I suppose can't be carrying around a black hole wherever we go.
We will not forget what you did for us. Lieutenant Ceylon will work with Nerl to learn more about this Vaadwaur. If there are more out there like him, we're going to need more than luck to fight them. We need to know more. Why was this Vaadwaur practically invincible? He wasn't like any of the others we've faced helping the Kabali or the Toray. I hope we can help find an answer. It's the least we can do.
Yeah, these are troubling. Please keep the Alliance clued in on the results of your analysis. It's just a shame we couldn't recover the body. Next up, we can speak to Zynel, the engineer. We thought he died.
Haven't taken a hit like that since Obasek and I were fighting the Tal Shiar. Gonna be sore in the morning. But the singularity is stabilized. That Vaadwaur tried to lock us out of the containment system, but he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. Thanks for your help. Next time we're in a firefight, I'll do more than just lay on the ground unconscious.
Yeah, I mean, I think he almost tripped on you once or twice, so you helped out a little bit, right?
Thanks for the help with Vaadwaur, but we won't need it again. The next time, we'll be ready. I'm going to drill my security teams until they can deal with anything. The war between the Klingons and Starfleet ended and people got lazy. Time to get back in shape.
That grenade. I handled a lot of ordnance and I don't recognize that. Was that one of your experiments or something?
Nice, isn't it? Honestly, there was an even chance that it would cause a massive explosion, crack the singularity core, and kill us all. I figured we'd be dead if we didn't try it, so why not give it a shot? Good thing it worked, huh?
Okay. Bye. Well, Commander Jirok, you have an interesting crew. I'm sure you're proud of them.
Thank you for all your help. Without you, we would have lost the Lleiset. It's unfortunate we couldn't capture the Vaadwaur alive for questioning. He was unlike anything I've ever seen. What made him so powerful?
I've been fighting them for about a month now, and I've never come across one like that. Did Sensors get anything? Biology? Technology?
Nerl did manage to get a few scans. He's compiling a report on what he found, and your success with the plasma. We'll need to adapt. We can't count on throwing every Vaadwaur like him into a singularity core. We will handle the repairs. You should return to your ship when you are ready.
Good luck, Commander.
Commander Jirok, I have some preliminary data for you. The Vaadwaur gave off a modulated carrier wave every time he was attacked by an energy weapon. In effect, he reflected the energy outward as infrared radiation. Nowell and I are not yet clear on whether this is a product of biology or technology, but he did show strange isoboromine neurotransmitter activity. Regardless, this will give us a starting point to find vulnerabilities. I'll send on more findings as we complete them, and we should be able to adapt our weapons to be more effective in the future.
Thanks, Solan. Preparation is key. With the conflict resolved and repairs underway, we can return to the Armiger and report in. That odd Vaadwaur stands out among their forces. Could it be some form of super soldier program that they're working on? Are there more of them out there like him? Was he a prototype or the first of many? Can we expect more? And if energy weapons are ineffective, we need to completely reevaluate how we combat him. We report everything to Starfleet, and Commander Burgess is as concerned as we are. He also notes the loss of morale that the destruction of the RRW Lleiset would have caused. It's considered by many to be the most powerful Romulan vessel in the fleet, and its very name means freedom. I guess it would have been akin to the destruction of the Defiant during the Dominion War. But that crisis was averted. So, with our reward collected, we turn our attention back to the stars and ready for our next mission in the ever-expanding narrative of Star Trek Online. So until then, I've been Rick, and I hope to see you back for more. Thanks again, and goodbye.